So, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you don't have that many copies of Chelik Dalet.
Yeah, we do. We have the
Name of the God. Oh, could you? Oh, we have the white ones. Very good.
Yes.
Here.
It was special, remember?
Yes, I guess. Okay.
Metal frame.
Here. Yeah.
So if we send the prescription to them on their.
That's sent. You have to go first.
Very good.
Why can't you do
Here.
it online?
Thank you.
Everything. You have all the other companies.
No. You can't buy progressive
Let's do it.
online.
With this Herschel here.
You measure.
It's for you.
Do it online and send it to them.
It's okay. Hayom Kotzev Amalocha Merubah. It's before Rosh Hashanah, and every moment is precious. So let's get straight into it. Very good. Herschel. Okay. Siman Tov Kuf Tzadik. Siman Tov Kuf Tzadik. You got it. You got it right here. The person has to hear these tkiyas, tkiya through a tkiya, and again tkiya through a tkiya, and again tkiya through a tkiya. It says 3 times through it. Call through it. And Nick don't key stam, Stem about to chef through Masha have a kill post shoot, back at the through, the lotion of art Masha article post, back at through Nemet, a biru chef, Mashach, through it, Saragamka, have a kill post, simple through, bench live, bench shon, Shane made them zemize. So it has to be through and a pshutel of fanel, pshutel achara, through is a more betoid, Matagwini above. See, Bada Halon Nishkafa, Tiave, Vame Sifs. Mashma sheyavove he kekoil she'odem mashmiya shu boich l'miyalo. Well, because we see from here that the Yavove is crying. The Torah says trua. The Targum says it means Yavove, and we see that Yavove means to cry. So we see from here that it means to cry. So what kind of cry? ויש להסתפק אם יבוא וזה יקבל שדרך החייל משבריך וניקי חויס ומשמיעים כאלה אחר כל מניח ומצאז וניקי גונה או שכמו אדם המיילה מכאן יש משהו כלס קצרים מהתקוף מזל הזה נקרא יולו או שכושניהם כאחד זה אחר זה היולו אחר ניקי חשכן דרך הבריך מנגיח כמיילה. What kind of cry? Is it long like kerecht? Oy long kerecht, or like sobbing, crying, or both? It happens also. Amen. Person corrects and then he starts crying. That was Tikkun Ababo. That this was the famous Askan Ababo. Chum said he should do all 3. Shema Trua Hi Yolol B'Yach Kivach Tkiya Shorant Tkiya Gimel Pam Shera Trua Hi Ginich Levad. Oh yeah, Lolas Hefsek Ben Trua Latkiya Shalachera. Atera B'Pshuta Lachera B'Lo Hefsek Kol Shayfer Sheni Poshet B'Time. If it was really supposed to be Shvarim, and you did a Shvarim Trua, the Trua was a Hefsek. Terad Gimel Pam Shema Trua Yolol Levad. Oh yeah, Ha Ginich Shabaseda Tasharat Hefsek and Trua Latkiya Shalachera. There's an anomaly. Always Gimel will do it quickly. He's the Tkiya Achron Shal Gimel Sederit Tashrat. Shimshet Tashrat Heine Nikra Mitzvah Tavalot Kitzul Tkiya Achron Shal Tashrat. Sederit Tashrat Mikra Mitzvah Beno to Yoitze Yidei Chavis Tahalalo Tkiya Zul Tkiya Rishon Shal Tashat. Heine Tzorach Tkiya Rishon Lefnei Tashat Orishin. Shemanu Shachol Yoitze B'Tkiya Zul V'Chein Adin Im Hisna B'Tkiya Achron Shal Tashat Shtal Tkiya Rishon Shal Tarat. A funny guy. It's not negated. Instead of blowing 30 sounds, he's a trick. He did it in 28 sounds. So he made a Tanai that the last key of Tashrat and the first of Tashat is only one. Do we need this or this? He makes a Tanai that the Eibishter knows already which one it belongs to. If you didn't make it tonight, you just blow it like this. Ain't ki achas el shneis daran tashrat tashat. Loy the shat v'terat. The mitzvah strichas kavon. Saka machlokes, but we're machmer. We hold that mitzvah strichas kavon. V'miskav mitkizu lo shlomas tashrat. Eina el tchalas tashat. Shem tashat ikra mitzvah ken sheskav mitkizu lo shlomas tashrat. We talk al shem mitzvah. Nachem batki shevei tashat v'terat. So if he didn't make Tanai and he did it Bistam, it wouldn't work because mitzvah strichas kavona we amachim like the opinion mitzvah strichas kavona especially coming the reisa. Siv gim dal. Shirt ki amor b'toyre ki shirt tru amor b'toyre shirt tru amor b'toyre gimu yevavos. The tkiya and the trua have to be the same size. The tkiya and the trua have to be the same. We're going to say soon that the tkiya tzimin tov kuf tzadik siv dal. You know what? You might as well take one step up from that. Aryeh's got the 2 steps up. You got the fancy one with the nekudas.
Why don't we have a watch on the demons? And you know, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
It's very hard to
Concentrate.
Simen tov kuf tzadik siv dal. Okay, so again, shir tkiya amur b'toyre, shir tru amur b'toyre. The tkiya and the trua is the same size. But it says the has to be the same size. As we'll say in a minute, the tkiya can be a little longer, but can be shorter. Shir trua amur b'toyre. Okay, gimel yevavos. Oh, what does that mean? First opinion is everything is smaller size. Second opinion is going to be everything is bigger size. His first opinion, everything is smaller. Yeshem then gil koichas ba'alam and they could automate it. After shetik and chamal at koy tashrat tarat. Kid lost with the second shesh betrot zara laharach betkir shal tashrat. Kidei shir trua shall say the tashrat. So whatever is the middle, that both sides have to be that size. No smaller. It could be bigger. No smaller. So but it's not that big. It's the Hainu Gimel Shvarim Beinanim. Shehem Gimel Genichas Beinanis. Gimel Yelodis Katanish. According to this opinion, it's not that big. True is 3 voices and tiny. And Shvarim is a drop bigger. So like it's a dot and a half in time. It's hard to translate. A dot.
2 seconds or second and a half.
Yeah.
3 seconds or.
The tkiya on both sides have to be whatever it is in the middle. So the middle is like 6 dots. They say the tashat, which is true shvarim true. Over there, he has to only do the shir of gimel shvarim benim. Shazau shiur true shall say the tashat. But Kisha Tarat and Sarah Shir Trua should say the Tarat. So he said that both sides have to be the Tki and both sides have to be as long as the Trua. But again, this opinion is everything is Tzimetov Kuf Tzadik Siv Dalit, the middle of Siv Dalit. So everything is smaller. The Tkiyas are smaller. It's just that in Tashrat, the Tkiyas are a little bigger, in Tashat they're smaller, and they're even smaller. Because Tarat is tiny, according to this. Tarat is 3 dots, Malish 3 dots, as small as can be. So how big does it have to be already on both sides? Same as this. So the Tkiya on both sides is just as big as it's tiny. And Tashat, it's a little bigger. And Tashrat, it's even bigger. But everything is really pretty small. But what a person wants to make a long tkiya, no problem. They never said a shear for a maximum. It could be if you could hold your breath and you want to do a tkiya for a long time, you can do it for a long time. The shear is lamata, not lamayla. You can make it as long as you want. You can't make it shorter. Person wants to make 25 shvarim, 25 truas. No, as long as it's mishimach, it's no problem.
You could do 25 storms. To
Some people probably could. I don't know. I mean, some of the Rabbeim used to. The minig is going to say not to be moisef on shvarim, only to be moisef on truas.
Sure.
But Chabad Rabbeim, a lot of them were moisef a lot.
On
40.
On his.
No, they were moisef in the non shvarim. Shvarim, they would make the Rebbe Rashab used to make like what he's saying soon, like a little extra sound. But only 3. But the teruas 3.5. But the teruas they're noig to do 42 or up to 72. Up to 72. Obviously, I will termate
72 one.
So it could be, what happens, sometimes when you have, the koiches, but the poil, the minute, same thing. I think it's 9 mitzvah.
No, but sometimes 42, sometimes 70.
Oh, that's a Kabbalah. That's Kabbalah.
Yeah.
That's Kabbalah. I will termate him. The minig is to only do 3. If yesh oisim said gimel shvarim kol pasha can't hear. And as you said, termate it. Avalena minig las. Can as I say, the minig Chabad is yet to do a half a shevet after the 3. Okay. Tzarich lezor b'shvarim so say that asherat shelo yarich b'shevet echad megimel ashvarim k'dei shir gimel shvarim beinenim v'gimel yilolus. Dainu termate it. The shvarim you have to be careful. The shvarim is the most complicated. Later we're going to say to accommodate both opinions. The shvarim are really Bakaponim in the first opinion. You have to make sure that the shevet is never long enough that it became a tkiya, because in the tashrat, if the shevet is going to be as long as the tkiya, then it's not a tkiya. It's a tkiya now. It's a tkiya now.
It's a tkiya.
It's a tkiya, exactly. Kedei shir gimel shvarim beinim v'gimel yilolus and give him a termate shir tkiya tashrat. Now it's a tkiya, like you said. Mi marich b'shevet echad kishir zeh yotzam chol shevet v'yikam b'shem tkiya. Esher oy shevet. Now it's a tkiya. V'sei the tashat shir tkiya ki gimel shvarim beinim. Over there, everything is smaller. Lo yarich b'shevet echad kedei shir gimel shvarim beinim. Shelo yeitze machal shever v'yikor v'shem tkiya. Over here, the tkiyas are smaller. So because the tkiyas are smaller, so you have to make sure that the shever never becomes big enough as a tkiya. Should say the tarat. Even though the Ovid did b'yoytze, L'chatchila try to make that the shvarim should always be short, that it shouldn't exceed even the tki of terat. According to this opinion, try to make a shever as small as possible. Rak shelo yekatza yoyse midai kedei sheyeh olav shem genich v'lo shem yilolad. I know termeite. If you're going to make it tiny, so all of a sudden it's not anymore shvarim, it's truas. So you have to make it a little bigger than the yilolus, and that's good enough. Second opinion is shir yavava gimel termeitim shir truak gimel yavavis. They say everything is 3 times the size. Everything is 3 times the size. Yavava, every yavava is 3 termeitim. So Amela, when you have 3 shvarim, you have as long as 9 dots. So in this opinion, every one of the shvarim. So here we have let's say a shvarim. Each one of the shvarim has to have as long as 3 dots. So the shvarim is 9 dots altogether, and everything goes bigger from this. According to this opinion, Shazeo shir trua shall say the tashrat. Lahana gimel negichas gimel yevavis b'yachim. From loy pachas me kaitrametim. According to this opinion, second opinion, so in the tashrat, the tki is much longer because every shevet is as long as 3 points. So you have 9 plus 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. So the key is say every trua takes a second, whatever, it takes less, but let's say it takes a second. So altogether you have 19. You have 18 seconds. So the Kia on both sides have to be a minimum of 18 seconds. Well, if you I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. Shiur Trush said Tashrat and a Gimel Genich, a Gimel Yavavis, Shlai Pasim, Pachas Mechaitrameter. According to this, Yochel Harich B'chul Shevet, not Pachas Mat Mechaitrameter. Every Shevet could be quite big. As long as the Shevet is less than 18 Trumetin, then 18 seconds, you're good. V'shat Chai Trumetin, Eino Shem Tkiya. Makom 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 Lo Yarich B'Shevet Achik Kedei Test Trumetin Shazer Shir. Tkiya B'Seiv the Terat. In case Shem Tkiya Terat Alon. All the other Yoitzim Herich B'Shevet Shel. Tashrat. Pachas Mechai Trumetin. Given Shubah Zeh Seider. Adayin Eino Lo Shem Tkiya. So l'chatchila try to make that the shvarim are smaller than even the smallest keys. But in other words, in Tashrat,
Each shever 18 seconds.
a little less. But he says l'chatchila it should be less than 9 seconds. But he says l'chatchila it should be less than 9 seconds because the true you have. You have 9 seconds, and over there the tkiya is 9 seconds. And if your shevet is going to be bigger than that, so even in this say that it's good, then that's whatever it should be less than
one of the three should be 18 seconds, or a total of 3.
the one. According to this opinion, so yeah, you can have a long shvarim. So l'chatchila we say that the shevet should be less than the tkiya even from tarat, which is 9 seconds. But if it was as long as it was less than 18 seconds, so it was still less than a tkiya from tashrat, and you're good. Say the tashrat.
So tkiya has to be longer also.
Huh?
The tkiya has to be longer.
Right. Exactly. Right. Besed tashrat sorach larach betkiya shevet testremet sheshir trua shel zeh seid v'lo yarach shevet sheshir testremet. But when in Tashat and Tarat, over there the shvarim have to be less than 9. If it's bigger than 9, now it's a tkiya. It's not a shevet anymore. Okay, so that's the difference between the first. So it's all the proportion. The proportion is that the shevet can never be bigger than the tkiya. So in the first shita. So everything is much smaller because we say shvarim and trua is 3 koiches b'alma. That's it. It's just the shevins to be a little bigger, shine. That's it. So the tkiyas are much smaller, and the shvarim, the first opinion, the shvarim, you always have to be very careful because you like you snooze, you lose, and like this, all of a sudden it's not a shevet, it's a tkiya. So the second opinion. Everything is longer.
He's counting the 10 cluster as one like measurement of time.
Yeah,
Like,
let's say
tashat, the same as tashrat in the same cluster.
in that cluster, the key has to be as big as the middle.
So we're measuring not just the 3, the tkiya shvarim through
whatever's in the middle, right? So when the shvarim through the tkiya lefnei ends up being longer.
Right.
And by the other 2 sets, the tkiyas end up being shorter.
It doesn't have to be the exact same time, the same cluster of 10. Same cluster
They
of
can
3.
be longer. Oh, you mean the shvarim?
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying the shvarim always have to be shorter than the tkiyas. Right. So the chatzila, you want to make sure that your shevet is shorter than the smallest tkiya. So the tkiya
of that.
Yeah, for even if you're on the top where you're in the shrat, you're in the top set, you want to make sure that your shevet is smaller than the tkiya on the lowest set. The Avad, we always look at this set itself. This 3, right? So if you were shorter than your own tkiya, your yoitz. Lachatchila, we want that every shevet should be smaller than any tkiya, even from the smaller, even from the other clusters. Linyan alocha, yesh lahachmer v'shel toyrek esvar acharayna. that we should be machmir like the last svar. The Hainu Shiyarach Betkiyas Tashrat Shir Chai Trameita L'Chalapachas. That we should make the Tashrat has at least 18 points. That means that the Shvarim, each one, it has 3 points. The way that Rebbe used to blow it, and you hear in the Sheva 3 points.
What's fun?
3 koiches, 3 nekudas.
Stop.
Right. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2.
Oh,
So you hear 3 points, and each 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2.
in each
2,
shever.
in each shever. So you could hear 2,
It's not a
2.
straight sound.
No, it's like goes up, down. 2, 2. Why? Because this way this is the second sheet that holds that you need to have at every shever it has to have the length of 3 koiches.
Why up and down?
Oh, that I don't know. That's it's not negay. I don't know. Maybe I'll be Kabbalah. I don't know. Whatever. Huh?
Much harder to blow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get used to it. Whatever. That's not negay. I'm just saying that you could do it different ways. I'm just saying that's where you hear 3 koiches, but you could be different. It doesn't have to be that. I'm just saying that that's the way. That's Lapoil the way it was. But that's so that so you hear over here in the you have 3 shvarim, but each sheva you hear that it has in it 3 nekudas. So and then you have a minimum of 9 truas. So that you have 9 plus 9 is 18. So you have 18 through 18 points in the shvarim trua, and then you make sure that the tkiyas on both sides are a little longer, that size or a little longer. ולעניין הלוך יש להחמיר בשל תוירה, סבור האחרון. היינו שיערך בתקיעס תשרת, כשיר חי תרמתם ולכל הפחס. ובתקיעס תשת ותרד, כשיר טס תרמתם ולכל הפחס. בכל שבע יערך מעט כדי גימל תרמתם. Every sheva should be as long as 3. ולא יערך עד טס תרמתם. It should never be longer than 9. אפילו בסדר תשרת, you're yoitze, but you should try to make sure that all your shvarim, that your longest shevet is shorter than your shortest tkiyah. V'chol trua tzarech lasses tres termeitim kemo she nizbar aval di'evet shekvar toke b'shina echem cholayla in tzarech lasses let koy b'nei sheish lisma al svar rishona. Because the other ways you can rely on the svar rishona. However, avlim shina b'shnei dvarim shlefi shnei svaris lo yotza. You can't put together in one set 2 svaras that don't go together. Its tkiyas were not long enough, according to this last svara. The herich b'sheva ben ashvarim yosem mishir shenizbar lefi svara rishayna. So then you say, your tkiyah basically was quite short. So you say, you know what, I want to go with the first shitta. But your shever was too big. So it doesn't add up. So you can't rely on that. But even 2 zdarim you could be making. Oy shaloi herich b'shever echem and ashvarim kishir shenizbar lefi svara rishayna than gimel termeter. B'shever echem and ashvarim herich yosem mishir shenizbar lefi svara rishayna. So I'm glad to let go. Then at the toy b'tkiyas. But if you have in different sets, it doesn't matter. But within one thing, you can have that the proportion of your tkiya and the shvarim doesn't fit even one opinion. Okay, so let's talk about it's tomorrow. We don't blow because we want to mix the salt. But by night, it's not a chelik of the cheshbon. We don't blow by night. Who blows by night? It's not. But it's the Keil Islamic. So by day we don't blow because by day is we want to mix up the salt, but by night it's not shaykh. The whole thing of blowing. Also, one of the reasons we spoke about it last year was on Shmakasicha. Last year. There's several reasons why we don't blow either because we want to make a hefsek between when it's a chiyuv gomur and when it's the minhag. So whatever the reason is, by night it's anyways not. It's kolayim kosher lakiv, but a lila's boss. So say we want to do the longer one. I did the last a little longer because the Rebbe was knowing to make the last one. It seems that I think, or at least that's the way the Rebbe did it. That the last key was long. Okay, and I did the trua. If you heard that the trua had like tutu, tutu, tutu. So that was the trua.
Shwarmi.
I'm sorry, the shvarim. So you hear a little bit of three nekudas over here.
One and a half.
That's a two. It's you want to you don't want to make it too long. You have to be careful. Yeah, because then if you make a sheva too long, it became matkiya. But over here, it's very nicker that you have 3 points, 3 to matin in the shevet, and I always do an extra few because it's menashin ma'achas, and because our minig is so you could always make an extra few. And if you're counting up Kabbalah, it's a whole headache. You have to count as you're doing 42, you're doing 72. Sometimes you think
you're talking about
the trua, but you always could do an extra few. There's an extra few is beside it also.
Shvarna.
Shvarim. Okay, so that's the bottom line. Now, if you're only doing keyas that are a little longer, you can never go wrong. So the only thing is, if your shevet is a little too short, you can rely on the first shita. The big problem is when the shevet gets mamish too short. So if the shevet is too short, you have to rely on the first shita. I mean, unless it's so short, it's like two or something.
What's an example of it being too short or just?
Yeah. So the first shit would say your yoitza. Listen, it wasn't like it's a little longer than that. So first shit would say 100% yoitza. So nishkeferlach, it's nishkefer as long and it's fine. Your yoitza.
Now,
Your
the
yoitza.
three that the shvarm 3 kind of they're all three. The set is like kind of attached. The first three, the next three, the last three.
No, I don't think so.
Could be a little pause.
Yeah.
We are actually pausing between.
We are pausing between say vidui, but the saying we're
Three or between
each three. Yeah, between tashrat and tashat we say vidu, and between tashat and tara we say vidu.
No, I'm asking
But-
about in the shvarm. Let's say the shvarm is made up of 9, 3, and 3. Do we pause between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Do we pause between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3?
Well, we'll talk soon about breathing, but no, there's no between the shvarim and the trua. You're supposed to take a time, even if you're not breathing. It's supposed to be nicker that it's a separate type of voice. So even between the shvarim and the trua, it's supposed to be nicker that it's you're not like just crashing them into each other. It has to breath. No, not a breath. Because we talk about the breath, like a tiny hair breath in between. It's nicker, yeah. It's nicker that it's a separate thing, but between the shvarim and the truas, probably better they should be as close as possible. But I mean, as long as it's Shema Achas, who cares? We'll go into it now.
Second half of the second Shema.
Right. Hayavav shel trua. The shvarim trua is a little hard, but the key is sometimes, especially in the smaller sets, when you're doing tashat, tarat, sometimes, you have a lot of energy. So you went to blow for someone, so you guess in the Suda, and you went to someone to blow shofar. So you're full of energy, and theoretically you could do the whole tashat and the whole tarat all the Benishim Achas, theoretically. But then you have a problem. We'll talk about it in a second. Takin Tashrat, especially when you're doing, so you're doing the second Shita, you're going to want to take a breath by the time you're done. The Tkiyas,
It's easier when you
it's easier. But the other ones, you have to, okay, now we'll talk about the breathing. The Shvarim or the Teruas, it all has to be done Menashim Achas. And the Shvarim and the Teruas together also Menashim Achas, where some Tov Kuf Tzadik Seif Ches. Seif Ches. Evav Shel Terua v'chen Gimel Shvarim, Shem Mokem Terua, Tzarach Lazim B'Shin Achas, V'Lasim B'Shin Achas, Lo Yotza, Shem Terua Achas, V'Terua Lo Yotza. Aval Shlosh Shvarim Terua, when you have the Shlosh Shvarim and the Terua, the Tashrat, Af B'Shin B'Yachad, V'Terua Achas, V'Terua B'Terua Shemei, Gini Chavei Lo B'Yachad Zeh, Af B'Kein Ein Tzarach Lazim B'Shin Achas, V'Shin Derech Odom, Legenoyach L'Yal B'Nishim Achas, Al Mafsik B'Tayim, B'Dei Nishim, V'Ana Shoytz Nishim B'Tayim, V'Ika Gama Tekei Tzarach Lazim Nishim B'Tayim, Komo L'Yafsik Yoysim Mit Lazim Nishim B'Sach B'Tayim, V'Lo Yamtim L'Riya Ad Shikra Makra L'Fanan Milos Terua, Ella Yid Lo Yoriya Ma'atzma Yachas Achar Ashvorim, take care for Miyad L'Achar Shos Nishim Achas. So the first shit here holds between the Shvorim and the Terua, he makes a hefsek of one neshima. Now, Chabad shuls were knowing not to have a mak. Why? Because that's what the Rabbein did. Yeah, it could be they were kosher for a little bit of a hefsek. I don't think so, because it's so ungenommen by Klal Yisrael. There's a makri that
He said the word.
they say the words, but it's sort of the mitzvah. It's hard to imagine that they were choshish for hefsek. Could be there was something else, but that whatever they didn't whatever. Huh? Right. No, but I'm saying even in the when we were doing the first case miyushiv, the harmony is different than the whole belt. And the whole belt they have a makri which Taka says tekiya shvarim trua, which is what we just said. He shouldn't announce shvarim and trua because we wanted, even if Laman Damish taken a shima, he should announce the shvarim trua together. So Chabad doesn't have it that way. So what happened was, for earlier years, someone, I think Rav Shlomo Yosef Zevin, asked the Rebbe if it was just something that had to do with Chabad Rabbeim, or that's Minik Chabad Bachlal. The Rebbe told him it's Minik Chabad Bachlal, Boraya, that his father-in-law couldn't blow B'Soif Yom the shofar, someone else blew, and still he instructed that the Makri should not read it, he should just point with the finger. I got another tiny Nakuda that's a little different. In Shulchan Aruch, they bring that the minig is that the person that daven shachris, the Baal shachris, is the makpid. But in Chabad, they're not makpid. That should be dafke the Baal shachris. The truth is, like the two minhagim almost a little bit go together. You know, like if the guy is announcing it, it's a little bit. It's like, like Ma'alim HaKodesh Rein reading. You gave someone the schus to be the Baal Shachris. So he gets the schus also to say Kia, Shvarim Trua, Kia, but Minik Chabad, which he doesn't announce it, just going with the finger. So it's really a different thing. It's just to help the Baal Tekei, help him cope. So it doesn't matter who does it. That was in 770 that wasn't apparently some years that a lot of times that ever did it himself, but they say that some years that there was someone that used to but mostly that ever did it himself. So okay, anyway, huh?
We know who was
Yeah, Rabbi Tenenbaum. They had the Tenenbaum. Yeah. The guy we buy the matzah from, his father. Tenenbaum's father.
Wow.
Okay, let's continue.
To the Valkyria by 6-7. He was leading the fifth.
Conspiring?
No,
He wasn't the main. Schusterman was the main. Schusterman was the main. Tenenbaum used to read sometimes. Schusterman was the
Valkyria.
Balkoide. Okay. Weiter. Avol Shloisha Shvarim. Avol Shloisha Shvarim the Tashra. Oh, we said that already. Okay, so that was the first opinion. Siftes. V'yeshem and Avpishem Derech Adam Ligner for the Alta Shemach. Homakim. Much on the Tekim Shvarim through and Machna Safik Shem Zel through and what the يمكن أين هو حافظك شريت آخر صمرة تاني فلا مفسكت مشني تروس بفكر خماسة مشني نشيمس لو ياتس إلا ياسا أيسان بنشيما آخس كل ما كم يفسك معت بينهم بإن شيء نخلوكين بشتي كويلس. He doesn't take a breath, but he makes a tiny hefsek. It should be nicker that shvarim is shvarim and trua is trua. But still, because it's part of the same mitzvah, part of the same coil. So therefore, you're not allowed to take a breath in middle. Meaning we didn't say, look, as far as China. This Ashkenaz. The Ashkenazim, their meaning is yet to take a breath. The Ashkenazim do take a breath. I don't know how this fired them. And I think this fired them is like the second opinion. I'm not sure. But the Ramo is the one that says. Medina say the one the Alter Rebbe says is the Ashkenazim. I mean, we didn't say, look, as far as China. You don't do. Second. Oh, so that's what the Alter Rebbe says to do. Vein l'shanas aminim with ha'am achloikis. Ava b'mokum she'im min kavua yesh la'ane glasses b'tkis miyusha b'neshim ha'achas. Best, the Alter Rebbe says, if there won't be machloikis, because there isn't a min kavua, that the tkis miyusha, it should be b'neshim ha'achas, not to take a breath. Kidei shetir ha'brach v'varch b'leim kaloch v'aldiv ha'koil. Shafel l'svor l'shoyna yesh amrim shimosu b'neshim ha'achas yotza. Come on, Tekeya, Telat, Tashad, Benishimach, and the Yots, come on, she's born in a second. Aval Betkis and Yuma, so you're 75% there. And if you didn't take a breath, by one shitta says you're not allowed to take a breath. Okay, so you're 50% there. And the other shitta that says that you're supposed to take a breath, but if you didn't, anyway, Yots. So you're 75% there. You're good. So you made the bracha, and the tkiyas that you made right away, and that in the tkiyas miyushiv, the follow days you were yoitza. But not mamish. The tkiyas miyuma shem avarchem alayim. Yatzim shtein shiras. Kedei lalochush l'svoras adin shoyme. The l'svoras rishonim also b'nashim achaz lo yotza. So the 25% you're yoitza by the tkiyas miyumas, and that seems to be the minik Chabad. Matakeya Terat.
What is the difference if we make a bracha?
No, because Bishasi makes the broch, you should try to make it the tkiyas kahoigen. The other tkiyas is mitzad malchus of friends v'shoifres. So nishkeferla. So in the beginning, you want to do it more kahoigen. So if your mom, the shitta says you're not allowed to take a breath. Oh, you didn't take a breath. Shitta says you must take a breath. But if you didn't take a breath, the chamachloikis was aguf of yoytzenat. So you're more outside, you're more safe on this mahalach. So now he's going to talk at this question. Mifsek mad benem bin yishe na block of lagim koilas. Yotza. V'yeshem no. Okay. In lo yotza. So the laws of the per kol lagim koilas shatkir yishe na lo hefsek v'sei betkir yishe na lo mresh v'scholish ozak l'shen achas. Ava b'shirke kisvar l'shoyna. Yish lochus l'svar chana v'yazav yitka kol lagim koilas. Now, I'll tell you why it's kedai for Baltakeh sometimes to make the truas, the tkiyas, a little longer. Number one, Pasha, that you can never lose by making longer tkiyas. There's no shear. You can't. The minimum, you have to, it can't be shorter than whatever's in the middle. So by Tashrat, the tkiyas have to be longer, and Tashab, they can be, but they can be longer because on Tahit, you can. That's one thing. So if you want to err on the side of the caution, you make the tkiyas a little longer again. You'll for sure never have a problem. There's another nekuda why it's good to make the tkiyas a little longer. Sometimes you're blowing and blowing, and believe Mason, you didn't take a breath. I could do now Lamazang Tashat. Oh, I'm sorry, doing it. Let me do Tashat. I'm sorry. I said Shwan. I did it Robin Shemachas. So
But there was no,
it's not good.
there was no do it.
But if the tkiya would have been longer, so first of all, you have a little bit your brain is a little anything that's a little more slow motion, so you have a little more time to think. If you're driving 90 miles per hour or you're driving 30 miles per hour, there's a big difference. You can pay a little more attention when you drive a little slower. Also, you run out of steam. If you're making the tkiyas longer, you're going to have to take a breath. So Mela, it's kedai to make the tkiyas a little longer. But obviously, if you're going to go blow for an al or a zaken, that's not the same. Whatever. But the tak have to make
Try to make it as short as possible.
right. But tak have to make sure tak take a breath.
Not too short.
Elamai, if you left the house long enough, you went to someone's house and you blew, and you're okay, so sure. Can rely on the fact that there is a shit that if you made all the toilets and the tashrat and shivachas, you're yoitzim. B'moshech b'erech b'tki achroina. Let's do these two halachas fast. Actually, let's skip because it's not so negir. Halach Yud Beis. Af b'shlach etchil also lasechem etchil et kiyas miyushim atzayv et kiyas mohamed k'mesh t'mavos tavkov tzadik beis but hamak and that's okay. V'soch afil hivsa kam b'shos b'sich afil men kiyla tro men tro kiyla and so the laws of Litkoya. Etchil we want that you should say the bracha and not talk until the end of the tkiyas miyumid. Okay, but if you did speak, you spoke. If you say the bracha which is an unusual thing. Why would a person do that? But just theoretical. I think if anyone shown hefsek bein true pshuta l'shol knaf shel akra. Shlo yipid the Torah shlo yifsek beinein b'kol shoyfish eine poshet she's given by at kel shem mitzvah. Those ain't come pshuta l'fnei or l'chare l'kol shoyfish sheine poshet l'fnei l'chare. Them lo is given by at kel shem mitzvah. Ain't can kol shoyfish sheine poshet l'fnei l'chare sheine kol naf l'klum. Vedem l'kol behem l'chai kivish l'skem l'shem mitzvah. Keine Shemei tkis the Serugin, and Hivzik ben time harba besicha. Yotza, Shabem, Sababa, the Shamakel Shefish, and Rabbi Samakam, and Shemin, True, Shalababi, the Pshut, the Fanel, Shalchel, Shamakel Shefish, any portion, the Shem Mitzvah. Kedashin is Barbatekea. So if a person heard a Tkiya, and he waited for a whole hour, then he heard Shvarim Trua. He waited for an hour, and then he heard Tkiya. It's Peseda. But if in the middle he heard others, Koilas, no, see, you messed it up. There has to be a pshuta l'fnei pshuta l'chara. Again, ain't tzarich shishma kol atkiyas modem echad. I feel like shama oisim. Kam abnei atkiyas zev trum zev tkiyas zev at seif kol akol tziyotze. Nim shama tkiyas tru tkiyas mishloish v'dan mishtaka kulam ki echad. That tkiyas v'zet tru v'zet tkiyas lo yotze. B'shen kem pshuta l'fnei pshuta l'chara. Nim shama kulam taka v'bas achas. The Torah said you have to have a pshuta l'fnei l'chara, and you had it v'bas achas. Nim kol echad echad mishloish dan taka tkiyas tru tkiyas. If you had three people that belong, all three belong to the Av Bishkol Kelzit Razach, let's go say to Razach and Shema Filach. Mishkos of Metav Mem, come on, Shef, give the Chava Vel Shema, Shane, El Pamach, the Mishon, who knows the date of Shema Filakamas Perlis. I think I feel Mitzos and talk about Chatzos and Mitzos and talk about Shefa Yotza. The Machem is Chavivos and Nos and Dite, Allah Shefa, the Shema Koil. That was when I did Sunday about the cochlear implant and the hearing aids. I really should have been Mitzayin. Yeah, I was Mitzayin to Mishnah Berurah in there, but still there was a mile of being Mitzayin to Mishnah Berurah because I'll tell you in a second. But what was I talking about Sunday? Someone asked, a woman said that she has a hearing aid. Stem says, "Lagavi tkiyah shofar is nicht gefährlich so much for a woman that she's not chayiv in shofar." So for a woman, it's a bigger problem when it comes to Megillah, because Megillah is they're chayiv equally like men. But here was the question: if the person had no hearing, so or like terribly, terribly schwache hearing, and it's a man, so you must take it out because if you didn't take it out, you're not yoytze. But on the person hearing is nicht gefährlich. So I was that this is the halach. This is what I was thinking. Maybe you could be makel and say that it's like what's the problem? The Rebbe and the Shlomo Zalman hold that when you're hearing a hearing aid, it's like hearing a tape recorder. You're hearing kol mateches. You're not hearing kol shofar because the electric is taking taking the sound and is transforming it to a kol mateches, and it's not a kol odom. It's not a kol shofar. It's nothing. You're not hearing shofar. Okay, but what this guy?
How you in the Shabbos?
Because Shaila and Shabbos, because Haka, those that are Oisrim, Velapoil, Shlomo Zalman Auerbach is Matir, and why? Because
What's that share about?
yeah,
The battery, you're taking much energy.
no, Chas v'shalom, can't change a battery. There's a few reasons why, but there's reasons. Lapoil, they're Matir. Now the thing is that if a person's hearing is not so bad. So that's what I was saying on Sunday. You could say it's like he's hearing two people blowing shofar at the same time. He's listening to the chazan blowing shofar, and he's listening to the tape recorder blowing shofar. The problem is that it's a little different than this case. In this case, you're sitting in a room, and there's three people blowing. Here, here. So, be'emes, that's what talking. So that's so. But you could say it's keeping the chaviv and he is paying attention only to Reuven. He's only paying attention to that guy, and he's good. But when the hearing aid is in your ear, how can you say I paid attention only to the tkiyas of the Baltekeya, but I made sure mentally not to listen to the.
You take it out.
Oh, take it out. But if you left it in. Elamai, someone asked, oh, but for a few years I didn't know, I didn't ask, and I didn't know. So you could say Lakula, you don't have to say that you were not Yoitza last year and 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, because you didn't take it out, because maybe your hearing was not that bad, maybe the hemisphere, maybe. But Lapoil, you have to take out the hearing aid to be Yoitza. If a person forgot to take out the hearing aid, they should, after davening, take it out and ask the Maltakeh to blow for them 30 koilas. Just to finish off with a few vertlach. We're going to say about Mishnah Berurah. Oh, the Mishnah Berurah says that that even Megillah, when you hear a few people that the din is your yoytze, behemes, it's only a person that's kimla. He knows for sure that he heard only Reuven. But if the guy is, you should hear the Megillah again too.
Some people take it to different places for the time. Same nothing else to do.
Yeah. Okay, the Rebbe says that about the Keir should learn the Maimer and the Siddur, which the Maimer is Oven. It's not a hard Maimer. I think last year or 2 years ago we did it over here, Shana morning. Oven in Tkir Shoifa. So
Finish every smile and available make well.
So
Yeah,
that's exactly. The Oven Mashiach made it in Omen.
So which might finish like this.
The Rebbe had a big in Tovshinum base. The Rebbe spoke a lot about the Maimer. And the new one, they have the Ha'oris, whatever. It's all based in the Siyans Tovshinum base. There was a stark gekocht in the Maimer in the last year that was a brain. So so anyway, the bottom line is that two beautiful stories. One is the Alter Rebbe. Magid has the Alter Rebbe to blow shofar. Alter Rebbe said he's masked, but he wants to know what are the kavanas. So the Magid learned with him the kavanas. When he finished learning with the Alter Rebbe the kavanas, the Alter Rebbe said, "There's a problem. I don't want to blow."
It's not.
So what? You don't want to blow? He said, "Kemush given a kind." Yeah. How does a person? Yeah. He was a kid. He was like growing up as a kid, and he never played around. So when you have little kids, they ask you to have the shofar. It's good to give them the shofar. Let them blow. And my brother is like a good Baltakeya. That was when he was a kid. He had a problem with his ears. And it was a problem. So when you blow and you feel like a bubble, fills up with air on the ear. So it was like so the doctor said that they should blow balloons. So my father brought a shofar and asked, "Would this be good?" He said, "Oh, this would be better than balloons."
Pressure.
Yeah, so kid is like so. It's like and so maybe he learned how to blow shofar. So anyway, that's one story. That's a story without it. And then there's a story of Reb Zabel Kitzes, but you can't go without Rosh Hashanah without thinking about this. Even though we spoke about it many times. That Reb Zev asked the Baal Shem Tov asked Reb Zev to blow shofar. Reb Zev said that the Baal Shem Tov should teach him the kavonas. So he taught him the kavonas, but he couldn't remember it. So he wrote it down. He wrote it down. And the problem was that the Kuman is can't find it. And he was tzibrochen. He felt so bad that Hashem taught him everything. He had such a leiv nishba, and he blew shofar. And then by the Suda, Hashem told him, it was an unbelievable shofar. Why? Said that a marshal, that there's a palace that has hundreds of gates. Every gate has a different key. But there is a master key. What's the master key? A sledgehammer. If you take a sledgehammer and you break the door, then it doesn't matter. It's the same as sledgehammer works for every door. So the kavana said the Baal Shem Tov is like a key. Every kavana opens up. You hear, look, the kavanas the Rebbe brings over here, even though it's a shaila who's really the kavanas of the Baal Shem Tov. It's from the Arizal, whatever. A shaila who's they found that begins at a Kodesh Megur, the Sfas Emes. The Rebbe said they should print it. The Rebbe said they should print it. This is the Alter Rebbe Siddur, and the Rebbe said they should print, even though we don't have the Kavanas of the Tkiyas Baal Shem Tov. The Rebbe said that they should print it. It's complicated. Avram Oilo Moshe Chamoichem and Asakise. That's Tkiya. Yitzchak Oilo Maspashat. That's Sim Kol Hoy. That's Shvorim. All of the Kim Yaakov David is true. Tkiya is Yaakov Umachnis Netzach B'Chochma Hoyt B'Bina Yisoid B'Das Kol Zeh Perik Echad Asvid.
If you have to go you're not doing
Yeah, and they never said they should print it. Not that they should print it, but the Hashem said it's a key. Everyone's a key. But du hast doch vergessen the kavonas. So Mamela, you had a late nishbur. Late nishbur is a sledgehammer. That opens up all the gates. The keys were oil la. So they shall helfen that our tekiah should be oil mila, and we should declare the Eibush as Melech Yisrael Megoyla. Mamela that the Minik in the Welt that the Yidden or Mamlech the Eibush there. So the whole Welt is totally on Eden. And we should talk to be Zoichet to be Mamlech the Eibush there this year in a way that's never before in the base of Mikdash HaShlishi. It's a problem. Sephardi women really shouldn't. You belong for Sephardi women, but if you belong for Ashkenazi women, or if it's a woman that whatever, she's not like so then she should make the bracha. You can't make the bracha for her.
Why starting now?
Because the Ashkenazim I know you like the woman that in the midst of doing it, she makes the bracha. But the Sfardim go with the Maron Beis Yosef for ones that no. If the woman is not machoyev, she could do the mitzvah. She can't make the bracha. So if it's a from a Sfard woman, you're not allowed to make the bracha. She's not allowed to make the bracha.
Sure. Well, that goes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Kshem, you're going to that building? Very good.
Which building? Which building? The biggest? Water park. For Tashlif.
We'll be doing Tashlich, and when we hear the sounds, we know it's from you. Okay.
Yes, that's a big show. Not the small.
That's the team anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Team anyway, right?
Shana Daiva Masoga Shana Daiva Masoga Shana Daiva Masoga